And hello everybody, welcome back to beautiful Dyson Sphere as a new day is dawning in our little factory. And yeah, well, by now we more or less cover almost half the planet. So space, I think at some point will be a problem. And our goal is to get more space to get to another planet there at some point. Right now though, we have a few other things to do. First of all, and boy, we have a lot of stuff ahead. We need plastic, we have the oil energy age ahead of us. We do need advanced motors to finally advance now to the belt 2 and sorter 3 level. That is something we also want, and we want to create diamonds. All of that we want to achieve. First of all, we want to finish also the last research, the last manual research, as we can see, where we actually do need some resources that we already have, and this one here is boosting our engine power for our mech, right? So that is something we definitely want to have, or our energy core, in fact. The energy core, by the way, I'm powering now with the oil that I'm getting, right? So refined oil just gives me way more power, and I can fly more often, and my drones are not energy starving anymore. That is something that has changed here. Another thing now is we want to increase that power core here so that we can stay in the air longer even. For that we do still need a bit of coal, and coal we have over here in our coal production. There is the storage for that. And graphite. And graphite we also have, there we have the coal. And graphite we have, well, basically over there. So let's just fly over it. Oh, beautiful. Down here with a point-to-point landing, and let's get the graphite there as well. And as we can see, we are researching that now. This, however, should be, no, it does not replenish our energy. Interesting. Even though we have this manual research here now, and it takes a bit of time, of course, for this to finish. Now, that is one thing. The next thing that I want to do is I want to finally use now the oil that we have. We have a huge oil surplus of refined oil, and we can use this refined oil in our thermal power station, right? We do have, let's see, we don't have any power stations, so I need a few of them. Let's fly over to our coil production that we have over there. So this is becoming easier and easier now that we can fly around much longer, right? And we don't lose that much energy as well while we are in the air. Why? Because our crude oil, or our refined oil, is replenishing way more power than the coal, for example. There we have that. I think the only thing now, thermal power station, yes, we can go with a few of them now. I'd say 5 for now. Because we want to do all of that. The reason for that is, why do we want to use the oil? First of all, we have a huge surplus production of refined oil, right? Don't forget, the hydrogen is being made with a ratio of 2:1, so we have all the other refined oil here just stacking up in the storage now. So as long as I'm not deleting this refined oil there all the time ourselves, this is getting congested and we can't produce any hydrogen anymore. So that's the reason why we do need it first. And second of all, we want to go with the plastic, which is also consuming the refined oil. And we'll just see how much refined oil we have at the end of the day. And yeah, we can then just get more oil refineries up here as well, just here along this side there as well, if we want to. Down here we have that. So let's get cracking for our next energy production, which would be over here. We have a nice little space here and a beautiful plateau, kind of like, or island. This game is really beautiful there. And here we want to create our next energy grid. And there we have it, energy circuit level 2, 200 kilowatt of mecha power that we have now in addition. Let's also just go for the next upgrades then right away. I love me some upgrades there. There's the really interesting upgrades now for our mech itself, right? The mecha core, for example, gives me even more core energy, and this is automated research here. This is one. The movement speed increase for our mech is one. The inventory capacity we can research now too, which is then just automatically being researched. And the drones, so we got one more additional drone, and thus the construction is just way faster. Down here we have then the next stuff right away, the mecha fuel power. Let's queue this one too. We have then 4 techs already queued now. The drone flight speed and the mecha sail. Double press space lift, hold arrow with space, which activate the sail mode at a certain altitude. In sail mode, mecha will orbit the planet at a higher speed. With this, we have the possibility of traveling even faster for a lower amount of energy that we would consume. So that is something I definitely want to take with us. Refined oil, refined or thermal power station. And the only thing that we have then, by the way, the conveyor belt 2 already now are unlocked. The problem though is it needs a motor that we can't produce yet. There we have the motor for it, which would be the coil and the motors. the electric motors, we haven't even assembled them yet. So this would be another thing, another production that I need to focus on soon. But it's an easy one, and we can make this then later. Right now, it's an energy problem. Let's consume all the refined oil that we have. By the way, for plastic, we could have just another oil vein somewhere. We have enough of that anyway. Let's get going. There we have our, once again, our belts, and while all of this is happening, as we can see, our research is being done in the background there. So this is ticking down there quite steadily too, because we have enough of that anyway. There's the belt, and I think we might just go down here then, like this. And yeah, here we could already have our thermal power stations with that. It's that easy, it's that simple. There's not really that much else that is being affected by it. The only thing we might still need is these sorters. And oh, we can actually also have the level 3 sorters here already. Let's stick with the level 2 for now. Let's get a few of them still on the way. This is being done in the background. And look at that, we are constructing something right now. And thanks to the oil that we are using for the energy, we're not even losing energy anymore when we construct something. This is awesome. This is some real progress there for the power of our mech. Here we just connect now the refined oil. As we can see, it's coming out there. So let's just keep a bit of the refined oil here in the storage then too for now, because here I can then better see how much refined oil we really consume. And yeah, it's basically that. And we just now need those guys here next to the power stations. I will need some of these transmitters though as well. So let's construct a few of them. There we got the first one. There is the input for it. Let's have a few of them side by side. Let's start with 3. We might just make them on the other side then too. I'm very eager to see how much oil we actually consume here then. There's the input. There's the input. And there's the input for these power stations there. And of course, now all we need is the power that we need here. So the transmitters. Very good. Next research, Mecha Core level 2. We get max core energy there on top of it. And look at that. This is going to be a lot of power there in my mech. Let's just put even more refined oil in it. And oh boy, we can stay in the air then for quite some time. There we have the transmitter now. Let's just have it beside the belt. One, of course, we do need the transmitters there too to connect the power stations here with my electrical power system in general. And there we will have the second one. And boom, we are producing now energy with that as well. And look at that, we have now a generation capacity of 25.8 megawatt. I'm actually inclined to just increase that, so we don't need to worry about that energy production here all the time. There is another one, there is another one, and all we really need here is once again some sorters right next to it. They don't really consume a lot of that oil, since oil lasts quite some time. It is way more powerful than the coal, and thus we don't need that much oil. And just look at that, we have 5 of them now. How slowly the refined oil is actually moving. It's incredible. So we have a lot of buffer here. For that we have 30 megawatt now, and we are not even consuming half of that in our factories. So we have quite a good power network now. Since I'm greedy, I might just continue having 2 more for that. Another power station, and we still have resources for 1 more that I'm going to squeeze in down here. Right, oh, we do need the belt though. That needs to move a bit down here as well. And then there we have it, very good. And the sorters, just take it in. By the way, also the battery research is coming up now soon. That's that. They are, as we can see, right away connected with each other to our power grid. And we have now 34 megawatt power production here with that refined oil. And yeah, to be honest, I don't think, let's get in the air. I don't think we are consuming enough refined oil, so it's congesting here already. It's congestion. Either we build even more of that, or we do need storage again, or we use that oil now here for plastic production. But then I don't know if we have enough of it. We definitely produce enough oil, crude oil, on the other side. Another cool thing is that I'm noticing right now we are hovering in the air, and we actually still replenish our mecha core. That is just beautiful. We can now endlessly float in the air. Next research has been completed, mecha move speed +1, so we are moving also a bit faster now. And boom, 3 more of these refineries are working now. Here's the output for the hydrogen now. The hydrogen packages are going then into this central belt here once again, and this is going then off to our red matrix production. And on the other hand, we have then another, first of all, oil consumption. And I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, look at that. We now really consume enough oil, so this is flowing here. So I think this is now the maximum of what we can supply with one of these oil wells there, or oil pumps. And the refined oil is coming out on this belt here and then merging with the other one. So this is even fuller now. We do need, for this refined oil, first of all, we're using it for the energy. I might be tempted to have a splitter here and just use it for the plastic. If we need more refined oil, yeah, that's a problem, right? It's not scalable then. So this plastic would be not scalable. What we can do is, do we have level 2 storages now? Yes, we have. So I can have these level 2 storages, and I can just see how fast it would be, you know, piling up. We could also just add another of these thermal power stations, a few of them, because why not, right? We can use quite a few of them, and we should be doing that, to be honest. I'm doing this up here, so we do need another splitter for that. Then as well in this area. Inventory capacity upgrade, also very good. So we can now have, or we have now another row of inventory here. So we can have even more items in our inventory. Perfect for that. And let's also get the rest of the refined oil there into our capacity. Here we now have the splitter. So let's just have the splitter that we do need. There it is. And it's going in here now. Out here, and we continue then here into this direction. And since I can actually have two of them side by side, I'm feeding one belt. I might just continue here now too with the same amount then, so they're just, you know, as we can see, side by side, and it's going down here, the 3 of them for now, and the belt is then going right next to them. Oh, okay, it's going like this. And of course we also do need a transmitter then. Actually, I think we don't need one. This should work without a transmitter in this area. There's the refined oil already coming over, so let's just have these sorted then. Here, here, and here. As we can see, it's being consumed there quite a lot, but only until it's full. And then more and more is coming down here, and we now have an energy production of 40 megawatt, and we only consume up to 15 megawatt at this point. So we really have a lot of buffer there, but it's fine because we need to consume all of this refined oil here. And I'm intending to just use it, the refined oil here, for all of that. And I think this is even still too much, right? As we can see, it's still piling up. So actually I might go with the plastic here then too. Let's also use the foundation for these plastic productions. Now, as we can see, it's rather easy. We just place it on it and the water disappears kind of, right? This might also be nice for using it then for buildings, if we have buildings at some point in this game. Right now we don't. Let's get a few more of them out there, so of these foundations here, so that we make this whole area rather clean for us. So there's really no water then. We can do the same thing then here. This actually requires a bit more of what we have at the moment. Perfect. It's all coming together here. There we have it. The only thing that's missing now is some belts or some sorters then, and a splitter. We do still need the splitters. Let's have 3 more. And the cool thing about this is actually it's scalable. So if we have more need of plastic, then we can just add them then here, right? And have more foundations there. So we are not going to get distracted by the water. And yeah, we can just look around while it's a bit nighttime there. I absolutely hate nighttime, but look at that. And this is also so cool. We are right now working in the night, right in the middle of the night. The other side of our factory, it's actually dawn already. This is amazing. I love that feature. So as we are on this planet here, there the other side of the factory is getting dawn right now, where we have our silicon. And I should not forget the silicon ore. So we have here the silicon that we're going to need then soon for our microprocessors, right? These are one of the next productions that we also need. But it's just amazing how this works then, right? And as we can see, it's now coming day throughout my factories. And yeah, we can then also focus on always being in the daytime if we want to build. And another thing that we can see, yep, even from outer space is the glows of our matrices, of our cubes that we use for researching. What we can see here right now is we have enough blue stuff. We don't have enough red stuff. So I will need to up this production here then for my red matrices. As we can see, we have enough basic raw materials. What we don't have though is enough research facilities. So let's also just fix this while we are at it. This one here should be working then. So let's finish this one and then we go for the matrices. There we have that, right? So here's the oil and there I can have the splitter now for the oil that is coming out here then. So one of them is going towards the energy production. And yeah, by the way, we have enough oil over here, just north of that oil production. We have 3 more oil seeps, 4 more, 5 more oil seeps that I can use for additional refined oil if I need that. Perfect. And there the refined oil is flowing to our chemical power plants. Now the last thing we need is down here, the graphite. And for that we do just need a soda to get out of the storage facility. And I hope it's enough. It's a bit far away there, isn't it? Should still work. We'll see about that. Let's activate the factories for the plastic. They have their energy. The first one is producing now. And there we have all 4 of them. And the plastic is coming out on the other side. Thus we have another product now ready to use for our future endeavors. Now the plastic is flowing. We do have too low a research speed. I know, and that is also something that I want to fix here real quick. So there we have our graphite and our hydrogen, and then we can just add a few more of these research labs now. Let's have one here, and we might just have another research row here, right? 2 more for the red buckets, and let's just fix this one. So the belts are going over here now into this row, and the same thing with the graphite going over here, and the output is then once again on that side going into the other red matrix output. Still haven't automated that. Mecha fuel power has been increased once again by 200 kilowatt, so that makes it even more power that we have. And yes, before someone else complains, once again, we can stack these buildings here as well. And after those 2 rows, I mean, we still have a couple of more rows here, right? I don't see that much of a reason here to stack them at the moment because we have the space. Stacking them is rather easy, and we can just place a building then on top of it. That we might actually need to do that on smaller planets, or perhaps on this planet as well with the advanced or the next matrix then, the tier 3 matrix that I'm working to soon now too. Right, but this is all preparation for that. There we have those guys. The only thing that's missing now, first of all, we need to say, produce me the red one. And the top one is already starting with that, but of course, we still need a transmitter for that side. And a transmitter here. And boom, we have another row of matrices working now. And now I will probably need more research labs than to consume all of these red matrices here. Stacking makes a lot of sense for the research labs here that consume the matrices. So, you know, that we're going to need up to 6 resources for them. And then it makes a lot of sense to just have 3 belts on either side being stacked up. This might be a way to go then here. Now more red stuff is coming in. Perfect. And we have thus sped up our research there once again significantly. And well, yeah, we do have 2 more research labs working for us now. Of course, we're going to need quite a lot of red matrices, so I'm hoping that we produced enough of them. Alright, let's get cracking for the next oil seep so that we have it. In this case here, we only need the oil, that's an oil refinery. Where is my oil production? There it is, the oil extractor. In that case here, we only need the belts then to this one, right? Going towards our other oil consumption then, because we already have all of that in place. We just merged them with the other belt. There it is. We have it. We do need, of course, once again, a transmitter here to produce some energy. For this one, however, perhaps it might be enough to have wind turbines right next to it instead of having the transmitter going all the way to this side here. Might be a possibility. I'm also crafting now level 2 belts, so that's going to be a lot of oil that's coming out of here, and we do need a nice speed for it. Next step, transmitters and belts. There we have the next belts. I'm already also crafting a lot of belts in the background there. And yeah, as we can see here, once again in the building mode, we have these lines that make construction a lot easier, because we just have to draw our belts there along the lines that we have there, right? So there's the next one, and the transmitters are just going along the belts then here to the other side, or to our oil refinery there. So I'm hoping then once we connect it that the oil will just come over here. And there we have another oil seep, so if I need even more oil, I can just then connect it here to the belt system as well. And so cool as the other planet is coming up there now, the ice giant, where we are situated right next to it. And there we have the connection. So we now have a connection between my oil coming in from the north and here my major oil line that is going then towards my oil refineries. One thing that we still lack is the last transmitter. I love that. Let's build it. And boom, we should be having now an oil production over there, and I can already see the packages coming. And while we're here, I just want to show that again. The other side of my factory has the sunrise. I just absolutely love that feature. Beautiful. I gotta say, I've played Factorio a bit, I've played Satisfactory a bit, but this game, it's just totally something else, especially because of the planetary system. There we have now belt level 2 in action too. Look at how fast the oil travels. So we still have enough space here then for another oil pump or another oil extractor onto this belt here, right? This is then merging here with the level 1 belt for now, and it's working. So there is no congestion here. Right, and the belts here are full, the level 1s. We could still upgrade this one to level 2. There I would like to see now how is upgrading working. I think we actually need to get rid of the previous belt before we can upgrade. This would be a shame. Redraw, snap, lift one, reset, toggle. There needs to be an upgrade button. Otherwise this is going to get messy at some point, or well, a lot of work. At least we can see which level is what. So the red belts are level 1, the green belts are level 2. So far so good. We have now the next oil coming in, so this is powering then our stations here and our plastic and our hydrogen production. So we should have now a decent production of all of that as the next researches are being finished.